How we doing, Calvin? Welcome back.
We're good, yeah. Like two ships passing in the night. We kept having trouble syncing up our times.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, mentalities. I tell you, it's been for me personally. This last couple of weeks have been rough. But
Mm.
it's hopefully we're seeing the light. I don't know. Hallelujah for Thanksgiving, I guess. Hallelujah for for
Well,
whatever
yeah,
the
at
hell
least
that
get
is.
do you get one day off for Thanksgiving?
I took the whole week off next week.
Oh, okay, that's good to hear.
So my girlfriend's coming into is flying over to Ireland
Awesome.
next week. So
Yeah.
we're spending like as much time as possible together, and I basically told work to like fucking I'm off. See ya. And we're in big kind of pivot
Good.
mode right now as well too, which is
Yeah.
entertaining to say the least. Because have you ever tried to write 4 major feature specs in a week, get those all approved, and have kickoff meetings for them all in one week?
Not
Yeah.
the latter parts. Just writing docs for myself, sure. But the rest, oh, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, so it's like, whenever you're kind of kicking off or making a new feature, within these areas, right? There's obviously the discussion beforehand that you have to have of like, what is this thing? How does it fit into the
Yeah.
game? Then you have to start like kind of writing the document against all of that, as well as making the UX mocks and everything else. Then you got to like meet again, sort all those things out, make sure that you have like clarity, all of the your questions are answered, everybody on design's happy with it. Then all of a sudden you have to then publish it, give it over to engineering, give it over to art, make sure everybody knows what's going on, ask questions, then iterate on that document again. And then finally once you've done all of that, then you can probably have a kickoff meeting. And then you can start building tasks, and then you can start estimating things. But I'm just trying to get as much of it done and out of the way for as
Oh yeah.
possible this week, so that we can, somebody else can kind of handle it next week. But we'll get as many done as possible, to be honest. And it's
That
going okay,
sounds
but
like
it's
fun.
yeah, it's going okay, but it's like, I mean, let me be real frank here. Like staying up until 2 a.m. every single day out of 32. You know what I mean? I'll be up until 4 a.m. playing video games, no problem. But these days, there's not a fucking chance in
Yeah.
the world. Like my brain stops working around like half 11, and then I end up getting a big boost of energy again around like 12:30 or so, maybe like one
Yeah.
o'clock. And I'm just like, what? Where is this? Like, what's going on here?
That's right. You guys all heard it. This is the game dev life. There's no there's no reprieve. There's no hope.
No, there is no hope. There's never hope. Just run away right now. Just run away.
Yeah.
Stop.
But
Stay in Roblox
hey, no.
and never look at a fucking gaming job ever. Just keep it casual, keep it independent. Stop. Don't go down the
Yeah,
route that I
yeah.
went.
No, I hope things look better for you, but hey, speaking of which, we're gonna expose both yours and my lack of current game knowledge because the Game Awards has put up their nominees, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through each category.
Okay.
We're gonna because they're gonna show 5 games, and we're gonna give our vote for which of the 5 games deserves it, and then also give our personal vote because they're likely not gonna have like the games that we are actually kind of played.
Yeah,
So
no,
we're
totally.
gonna put ourselves through the ringer here.
Okay,
I
this ain't
haven't
gonna
even
be a
looked
game.
at these really. I just like kind of glanced at them,
I mean,
but
after some
I'll
of our
share
like
my score.
earlier episodes, right? Like you introduced me to like r/patient gamer, and I feel like I'm just
Yeah,
like shit, like I am just these people. Like I'm playing games that are from fucking 6 years ago, and I'm like playing them. It's
yeah,
like, oh yeah, that was a pretty good game.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I've been talking to people. I was like, I really just don't play games all that much. I'm familiar with them. I looked them up, but actually playing is a little hard.
I did start Cocoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's your
for
yeah,
Randy,
actually
for
we're
Randy out there,
yeah, yeah.
our only listener. I love you, bud. Thank you.
Cocoon is actually we can talk about it when it pops up. I know it's one of the nominees.
Oh, okay. All right,
So
cool.
let's bring it up. So I'm gonna share my screen.
Sweet. I'm gonna put my old fogey glasses on.
All right. Let me know if it's all good.
I see
It's
it. Yeah.
all there. All right. We're gonna start with the back, and then go work our way to game of the year.
Okay.
So, best esports event.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. The Valorant
I've
Champions,
o-
the International Evo. I mean, let's be honest here, dude. Come on, who? We okay. 2023 League of Legends World Championships has been a bit of a banger. I'll be honest with you, but I feel
okay.
like it is
Okay.
still happening. So
Yes.
interesting to say the least. I don't know if I can give it to him.
Yeah. It's not really like what happened as much as what delivers the best experience.
Okay, well, all right. Well, yeah, okay, okay. What delivers the best experience? All right, Blast TV's Paris Major. I'm a CS kid, but
Mm.
I don't think that CS has been. I mean, let's.
It
I don't
is
think it's
that
been
like
so good.
the CS tourney?
No, like
Like the
I,
oh
IEM Katowice used to be the one, so I don't know actually what the Blast TV one actually is, right? As a major,
mm,
but
yeah yeah
any
yeah
of the majors are usually pretty hype. You know what I mean? They are pretty
yeah
big deals. Now the thing is here is like for lack of context of like what actually happened in any of these tournaments,
sure
you
sure
know,
sure
that's the kind of crappy thing. But I'd rather talk like high level. If we were gonna change this
yeah. I
category
think
to
it's like
be
format and how the
yeah,
event is produced and
if we were gonna
content.
change this to what is the best overall like esport category out of all of these, is it League,
Yeah,
CS, fighting games at Evo, or the internationals for Dota, or just Valorant by
right.
themselves? Valorant
Basic.
is in the bottom for me. That's my
Hmm.
bottom.
Yeah yeah.
Fuck Valorant.
Uh, you know,
It's
League. Okay, so from what I've seen, of League, it seems to have the highest production value. Can you confirm or deny that? I'm
no,
not 100%
I
positive.
feel like the internationals,
Dota?
Dota,
Okay, yeah.
Dota was the first ones to put in, soundproof boxes and stuff like that. Sit people around center stages, and I just think that overall, I think that had like a better production quality. They also had more money in their tournaments, right? Because of the
They always do.
passes, like back then. So I think there was just a little bit more going on there overall. But I mean, not to say that League doesn't have like a big deal nowadays when they're like,
Yeah.
some of these crazy ones, especially in the eastern regions, have been mad for sure.
Mm. All right.
Absolutely.
What is the vote? What is the vote and the reason?
I mean, can I tell you which one I want to go to? Like out of
Yeah,
all of
yeah, yeah.
these, right?
No,
Well,
that's a
look,
great that's a great
I
best
talk
bet.
all the time, Calvin. I talk all the time. You can't stop me from talking, but this time I want to hear your vote.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Yeah. We're both gonna give our votes, and my vote is absolutely Evo. Evo, like, okay, now it doesn't go against it. Okay, it
Okay,
says
but I will stop you here, okay? Because I know,
okay. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
because I will say Evo too, but I would say Evo is like the one that I want to go to, but I don't know if
Exactly.
it's the best one, but it's the one I want to
Exactly.
go to the most because that's the one that like there's going to be these offshoots, there's going to be all of these people in the background all playing at the same time. Like I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to be out in the crowd watching other people with like a TV or something on their laps doing money matches or some shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
So here's the
absolutely
thing.
going to
Yeah,
happen.
it's like you're not even out there in the crowd. You're often right behind the shoulder of the
Yeah.
top player, and you're talking. You might even be talking shit in their ear. It's like you're that close to the
Yeah.
players.
I
So yeah.
think Evo to
Uh,
me is like if you've ever seen the darts. Have you ever seen darts? Like
yeah,
actual
I
live
have.
darts, where it's just
Yeah.
oi, we're fucking going mad. We're going mad at the
Yes.
darts. That's
Yes.
Evo. Now, what do you think is actually the best
Yes.
one though? Personally, what do you think
Yeah.
is your
The
favorite?
no, I will say that. So this is which gives the best of class experience for participants and the audience. I will say, and I do this. I do say this from like a bit of an unbiased. I'm trying to say it objectively.
Sure.
And I have been to like I've watched the other games. Not okay. Honestly, I haven't attended these other ones. I've been to watch tourneys of these games, but Evo is different because you are a part of the experience. You are
Sure.
not in the football stands just watching the football players. You are a player, and you're just one of them. You're one of the pros, and I will say it is a very different experience
Sure.
because of that, and it's amazing because of that. So
Okay.
that's my argument.
Look, I'm going with Evo. I think League is actually a close second if we're just talking about for the actual, online watching and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to
If
know
this
the,
was
you
if
gotta
this
know the
was just
game.
broadcast audience, Evo would not be there.
Yeah.
It would not. It would probably not be top.
I've tried to watch the Invitational, and not that I don't fully understand the game. I definitely don't understand the characters to the level of depth that I do to League, but like I understand what's going on there. And now when you get a really good match of CS, it's fucking phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. But sometimes I feel like things have become so noodled down, like some of the maps have been so overanalyzed that like we know where all the smoke positions are, we know how things are going to happen, so there has to be this like little bit of magic that has to happen, and that magic, it's not that it doesn't happen too often, but it like it's like, oh, we got a triple kill, like down banana on and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, you shot the same person the same time, like, I don't know, it's like sometimes it does feel a little bit like, I don't know, the samey, a little bit samey. But the fact that you always know when you're playing, when you're watching CS, like anybody could watch CS and be like, oh, that looks tough. But if you watch League of Legends or Valorant or the internet or Dota, you're like, I don't know what's happening here. So you might watch a
Yes,
good play,
exactly.
but you don't know that a good play just happened. And I feel like Evo gives you that same feeling as well too. So I don't know. Anyway,
Yep.
we've talked that one to
Yep.
death.
Yeah. We got 50 categories to go. So,
Okay.
but
Evo,
no,
Evo.
this was an interesting one.
Stamp, stamp.
Because I think some of these are going to be rough. All right, so I don't know any of these guys, so I'm just gonna look at them. This is
uh,
best esports coach.
Yeah, I think Homie is probably the best one. I think overall he's got like the best track record period. Like I don't know, he's, if I remember correctly, like he's won at least like two or three world championships. He's definitely moved around some of the bigger teams as well too. And yeah, I mean, Zonic Sorzen, I don't know, man. Couldn't tell you, but CS, is a different beast. There's no way that a Valorant coach is going to be the top dog. That it's too early of a game, and then um, I thought the other guy was like an in-game, the team vitality guy. I couldn't even pronounce his name. His Quizdik or something like that. Or, I can't remember. I have no
Oh,
idea. This guy. I just don't
okay,
know, but I think from
all
my
right,
understanding, from my remembering anyway, of League of Legends, Homie's been around for a hot minute.
okay, okay. That's your vote.
That's my vote. And Overwatch sucks,
Okay,
so fuck Overwatch. It literally means nothing to me.
sounds good. Okay, so my reasoning, I'm just looking at these people that I'm all unfamiliar with. The two people that stand out are these two. This
Yeah.
guy has a name that you would use in Scrabble. Like these, like you said, you didn't know how to pronounce it. His name is amazing. That jumps out, but actually, I like the look of this guy.
You
This
like
guy
one of
looks like
those?
a alternative dimension
Goomba?
Sean.
Yeah,
Looks
fuck off.
so,
I mean, I'll give it to him
so
for
the,
Aussie pride, man. For Aussie pride. Absolutely.
yeah. So I like the look of this guy.
Can't be giving South
You
Korean
know,
soy boys any sort of praise over.
yeah, that's the thing. If I'm looking for a coach, I don't know, man. Like you learn to just spot gamers in the wild.
Sure.
They look a certain way, and I like the look of this coach. He looks like a serious guy. Everyone
Sure.
else is putting too much time into looking good.
I mean, there's players. You know what I mean? There's real players right there for sure.
Yeah,
Sometimes though, you
yeah,
don't need
yeah,
player coaches are difficult though. I mean, player
yeah.
coaches are not always the best people to be doing it right. Like the best Muhammad Ali was, or not Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson was taught by, you know um by a guy who didn't box, right? Like, or like he boxed in gyms, but he never really made any like huge success. And there's a lot of
Yep.
great coaches out there that are exactly like that. And those are the best people. Sometimes are the best people because they're actually like a studier of the game, but they may not have been able to like reach the heights like physically or anything else as well too. So but so I'll just leave it with that. Who knows?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but Overwatch is such a fucking noodly little game that, it's like, what are
Yeah.
you really coaching? Okay, everybody's ultimate up. Okay, dive bomb now. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Best esports team judged for outstanding performance and conduct. Uh,
SKT1. What? Why aren't any of them here? I mean, I don't know. Like, here's my problem, right? Here's my problem with all of this. Stop.
yeah.
Please stop me. Please stop me, Calvin.
no,
But
no, no, no. We got 31 categories to go. I want to rant about all of these.
okay.
Go
So
for it.
people swap
We're,
around on
we're not even gonna
teams.
get to game of the year.
No, people swap around on teams
No.
so often, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
teams do not stay static for long that it is you can't. To me, it's just like we were talking about this like 7 or 8 episodes ago, but like the franchise leagues hold have problematics when it goes and says evil geniuses on Valorant. It's like for the 2023 season, like how many I mean, I don't know, but like how many
Right.
substitutions do they have? Because I've known times in seasons where all of a sudden like we're having 4 roster changes like within the year, and I get it. You can have like a load of people, but like I don't know, just we don't see a lot of that back of the napkin stuff. Like unless you're really invested in that team, whether you're like looking at their social profiles, whether you're watching their Twitch streams and stuff like that, and there's just so much to cover there. It's not like that. There's just like one TV channel that says, oh, here's the decorum of all of these people,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
and you can make this judgment call. It's not Love
Because
Island.
even with with real life sports, you at least have the hometown to like connect to. But yeah, it's pretty rare to be super invested.
Yeah, so I have no idea. I don't know. I can't judge
Okay.
on this category. I've no idea.
All right, that's
They're all
fine.
great in their own right. Fair play to them for any of their successes throughout the year.
Yeah. So if the viewers haven't noticed, I don't follow much esports outside of fighting games. So I'm judging by their look, and I love these shirts. I love how wild it is.
Yeah.
So Team Vitality's got my vote.
Counter Strike.
On to the next one. Esports athlete, performance and conduct.
Can we just stop calling them athletes? Can we not do that?
No, who's the best esports athlete?
I mean, Zaiwu looks like a fucking athlete, man. Look at that guy. That man is an athlete.
You're right.
He's a fucking athlete.
He's got my vote. You already convinced me.
He's an athlete. I mean, it's number one. It's Faker. There's not a chance.
Yeah. I like kind of know Ruler, but obviously Faker is
it's definitely Faker. Funny enough, like Hydra, I think I can't put any sort of stake into any Call of Duty kid at all.
Wow.
All of these kids are just calling each other the N words for the last 14 years. Like, and I'm playing against 9-year-olds. I'm not about it. But
that's the conduct person. Whoever can say the least amount of expletives.
I will be surprised though. Like just looking at these categories, we've seen the same games over and over and over again. Like, where's StarCraft 2 here? Where is StarCraft 2?
Right.
Like, StarCraft 2 still pulls numbers, but like, why what's with the uneven numbers here? You know what I mean? I know there's 6 people, but like, why isn't it per game? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. There's certainly no fighting games here.
Yeah, like if you really wanted to have a voting category, bubble up all the players from all of the teams and just let me vote for them. Like, why this feels like really basic, where it's like, let's just get these things and just stick them in here. It's like, I don't know. Anyway,
that's the beauty of the Game Awards.
Yeah. I'm all about Faker.
So yeah, all right. Hopefully, we're out of the esports realm. Let's see. Oh, best esports game. Okay. We're almost on.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
PUBG Mobile.
I mean, if I had to pick, I guess if somebody asked me to fire up one of these 5, I actually like Valorant the most because I succeeded in Valorant. I'm not that great at FPS, and Valorant, for whatever reason, I could actually succeed in. That's my vote.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Can you go back up to what is the actual category name again? Best esport games delivered all around best experience. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I'll go with. I'm a Counter Strike person at heart,
Okay.
but it goes Counter Strike
Have you
League.
tried? Have you tried Counter Strike 2 yet?
No, no, no. Sure,
Oh
I've been
yeah,
over
that's
here. You know what I mean? While I've
it came out when you were moving. It's fine.
yeah, I haven't been able to play at all.
Yeah. No,
No,
all good, all good.
yeah. So I gotta remember my past self as well too. So if I really open that game, I'm gonna have to sit there for fucking 10 years. But I remember the launch of Counter Strike, Counter Strike Global Offensive and Counter Strike Source. So I know what happens within these lifespans of these games coming out. Everybody hates
Yeah.
it. It fragments the community. There's a bunch of glitches and bugs. They find a bunch of them, and then it slow rises until it's like the only dominant game. Period. And it's happened for every single cycle of a Counter Strike game. So whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Wise knowledge. Content creator of the year. I don't know any of these. I'll go with the VTuber. I mean, I've heard the name. I've seen her. I'll go with that. That's my vote.
Again, like, where's RuneScape? Where's old school RuneScape? There's been some fucking amazing old school RuneScape content creators. Like, can you bring up a Quacky video? Like, who? Come on. I don't know, man. This is for fucking Gen Zers, and I am not that person. I guess you know.
Sounds good. Moving on then. Most anticipated game. So I thought, okay, I did look at this one. I thought this was funny. Most anticipated game demonstrates potential to push the gaming medium forward. That is funny
Then why
because
is Tekken 8 there?
yeah, it's like Tekken 8
Tekken
is a
8
rehash.
Yeah, rehash. Another rehash.
Like a Dragon, all these Like a Dragon games, as fun as they are the same. They're like copy paste jobs. And oh yeah, and the Final Fantasy
Bro,
17.
this is an advertisement fucking purchasing
Yeah,
spot. Who wants to
it
be here? Because let me tell you,
that's why we love.
people really like
Yeah.
Hades. I did not like Hades all that much. I thought Hades was fairly shallow, like in the end, and I got through it. I finished the game, but I felt like it was kind of shallow.
I didn't even finish it. I do like the game, but it wasn't enough to keep going.
I mean, Star Wars
But,
Outlaws might be the one that I might like, but to be honest, if it's made by Ubisoft, I'm hesitant at best. Let's just say that.
All right, so this is personal opinion then. So which one of these is the most anticipated for you, and why?
Jesus Christ, none of them. Don't give her any of them.
You are on the cabinet. You gotta vote.
I'll go with it. Star Wars Outlaws. I think Star Wars Outlaws has potential depending on what it ends up really being. The best thing about the fragmentation of the Star Wars universe is that you can go a lot of different ways. There's so much breadth of stuff in there. So many different planets to explore, so many different races. There's so many different ways you can move on that thing. So here's hoping that it's not like an RTS or something like that. But I mean, obviously, if the launch trailers and everything are out, it's not that. But please look it up. What is it? What actually is it?
No, I'm not gonna look it up. I don't know what it is either. But so yeah, I would agree with you. Star Wars Outlaws, out of all of these, has the highest potential because I don't. Is all the other ones you kind of know what they're gonna be. So but I mean, just personally, Tekken 8 is yeah. I mean, I'm into fighting games, so that's the one I'm looking forward to most. But it is definitely not the one that's gonna push the medium forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
look, I'm looking at the world premiere trailer right now for Outlaws, and I'm like, okay, cool. This looks awesome. What's the game?
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's better
to
be unknown than all these other ones that are known.
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay.
All right. Best adaptation, which is to adapt a video game into another entertainment media. Oh, okay. So I've seen the middle three.
You've seen the middle three. Okay, so you've seen the Mario game.
Yeah. I like The Last of Us. That was well done show. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It was super well done. Oh, I actually didn't play The Last of Us.
Oh yeah,
so
we talked about that, right?
Yeah, I wonder if that affects my vote, but that's what got my vote. I did like. Okay. I liked Gran Turismo. It was okay, above average. But Mario movie, I did not like the movie.
No.
A lot of people said they loved it, but I did not like the movie. It rates under 5 for me because I that was not worth my 2 hours. I'll honestly say that.
Look, it's not made for you. You know, it's made for kids.
No, that's what. Yeah. Okay, that's the thing. People are like, this movie was made for Mario fans. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Do you know who else are Mario fans?
Huh?
Grown
Who?
adults who are stuck
Oh,
in like
yeah,
thinking that they're fucking 12 for forever.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? There's so many people out there that are just like that they get stuck within that fantasy that they are just children constantly and that they're not grown
yeah.
ass fucking adults. Good for them. I'm glad for them. I'm glad that they have an outlook for them, but that is most
Right.
Nintendo fans of all time. It's the people who really
Yeah.
sit in that console. Good for them. I'm happy for them. It ain't me, but I'm becoming a little bit more. I've been playing my Switch like crazy over the last like couple of
Yeah,
weeks,
yeah.
so
I've heard
I'm
good
with
things
them.
about Wonder, but I haven't really checked it out yet. Super Mario Wonder.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
how about these? What's your vote?
All right, so I don't think that the Mario movie. I think it's the best Mario movie, but it's not the movie for me. It's not what I want. It's
Yeah.
Twisted Metal Who? Like I don't know. Like how are we trying to resurrect a dead franchise that's been dead since the PlayStation 1? I'm not sure, like what the dealio is there. I think The Last of Us, when we're just talking about overall like ratings, I think hit the hardest for people who, like yourself, had never played the game and probably drove them to go and either pick up a console or ask somebody for a copy and like ask people to play. It was the
Yeah.
same thing for the girlfriend as well too. Um, and if more people play The Last of Us, cool, because that's a great game. And if we're just talking about monetizing facts, I think that that's the one that bought the console more. Gran Turismo, I think above average for the movie. I think it was above average. I think you're right. Would I say that that shipped consoles and shipped new versions of more people to buy Gran Turismo? I don't think so personally, but
It
they
made me
they
want to play Forza, which I have on Game Pass.
that's funny.
If anything.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then Castlevania. I don't know what the story of Castlevania is, so I think that's again very nichey, very thing. So it's got to be The Last of Us. It's definitely The Last of Us. Absolutely.
Sounds good. All right, I'm gonna take a peek at all the categories. I mean, we might be able to just divide it into 2 episodes
We'll
if we
we'll get
if we go
through it.
over.
We'll get through it. We're
All
almost
right, so
there.
we were we're at best adaptation. We
We're,
got 3 rows to
that's
go. Let's go.
okay.
Let's go.
We got it.
Best multiplayer.
Best multiplayer.
Okay, outstanding design. Okay, outstanding gameplay and design.
Wonder's not even out. What are we doing here?
I think it came out last week or so.
Oh, what the
Yeah, people
fuck
have
is
been
it?
telling.
Okay, well, whatever. Okay, I have no idea.
All right.
Street Fighter 6 I think is the best one personally. And that's
Yeah,
like no trying to dip off biases here and stuff like that.
yeah,
D4 is still a single player game that you can play with your friends. Baldur's Gate 3, yes, it's great that you can play a game together with with your partner and that be your whole thing. I'm thankful that there are games that are still coming out that are like if you want to play up to 4 player or 2 players like here, you can do that and it's not you need to have a console and they have to
yeah,
have a console and we have to join. Thankfully. Uh Party Animals, definitely interesting concepts, but there's too many other games that have been doing the same types of stuff. You know what I mean? We can just go we can go back in time too far. I don't think there's a lot of new stuff there. But Street Fighter 6 really was new. I think that it was really innovative what they were doing. They pushed a genre market. We've talked about it to quite a few times. That's the one for me personally.
yeah. You couldn't have said it better. Street Fighter Six, especially out of all these, was very innovative. There's no fighting game that has even tried to make that kind of experience. And actually, like Tekken 8, it seems like almost last minute is putting in the same sort of system. They're like, oh crap,
We're
so this is how we're
fucked.
supposed to do it. So
We're
so
fucked.
yeah, they set a standard for other games to meet. And just really quickly, for the people that don't know, they basically made an online arcade experience that was super super tight and integrated. So well done to Capcom there. Best sports racing game.
What do you think?
Uh oh. Wait, what is the Crew Motorfest?
Who fucking knows?
Okay, well, okay, so Forza and Hot Wheels. So man, Hot Wheels. I actually have the game from Humble Bundle, and then it didn't work on my machine. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, that sucks.
Um, but I can't make a super educated guess. But if I had to play any of these, it'd be Forza. I mean, I do like it's a very solid racing sim experience, but I think people are really torn between playing Forza Motorsport and the open world one.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Can you go up?
that's my vote. Oh
What's
yeah,
the
yeah,
what's the category again? Best e-sport or just best sport and racing? Yeah, like I feel like this is where like PC games have been kind of left out because I don't think that Forza is the best racing game that is out there, especially when we come down to like sim playing and stuff like that. Um, I'm also confused why like Gran Turismo isn't on that list if we are talking about like this, just sim racing in general. But
yeah. That's
um,
interesting.
they pump the same numbers. They fit two different audience categories, but we have the F1 2013. No, and I'm not gonna go and even try to put another EA title. Like, why do we have soccer here when we don't have Madden? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like,
yeah. It's sports racing, but it has 4 racing games. That's pretty crazy.
yeah, absolutely. So, uh, sim racing by itself should have been in its own category completely and
Yeah,
utterly. Honestly, I don't
yeah.
know. I want to see what the Hot Wheels game is gonna look like. I don't know much
The
about it.
screenshot looks exciting. Yeah, it
Yeah, I don't
looks
know much about
exciting.
it, but that gets me going because it reminds me of like Matchbox cars, like back in the day. Like, what was that
Yeah,
game? What was that game when you were like you always like you were riding
there's
around
Micro
Micro
Machines.
Machines?
Micro
That's the
Machines.
one.
Yeah,
I mean, if
yeah,
if there's a feeling of Micro Machines there that has like a really tight, like good loop, that's almost like Mario Kart versus Micro Machines versus Hot Wheels. I'm in. I'm absolutely in.
yeah.
I feel like that's like a
I
great
forgot you
proposition.
still. I forgot you still collect
I
Hot
still pick
Wheels.
them up.
So
I'm still picking them up. Don't stop me. I'll never stop. I'll never stop.
awesome. Best sim strategy. Best game focused on real time or turn based strategy.
Interesting. Interesting. City Skylines 2 got knocked in the reviews.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Absolutely knocked.
This looks like a reboot of Advance Wars. I haven't played any of these. I've heard of most of them. Like heard reviews of most of them.
I mean, this is the crazy
Um,
thing. Yeah, like I've played Fire Emblem Heroes. I've played Advance Wars. I've played Company of Heroes 2 and 1. I played City Skylines 1. I played Pikmin
yeah,
2 and
yeah.
I watched videos on Pikmin 3. But Pikmin, like, when we're talking about, I don't know, like, if we were really talking about it here, Age of Empires, the reboots of Age of the Empires have been better than all of these games. Period. like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? So, how about just not reward this category? Because, like, guess what? Are any of you any better? There's no way that you're the best. You're not the best even in your own category. You might be the best for the year, but that's not saying
Well,
much.
that's what it is. This is Game Awards for 2023.
Like, I feel you, but I'm just
Uh,
like, if
yeah,
you're not even the best in category and you're like way below a different game, I think you dump that fucking category for the year.
yeah.
Personally,
All right, so you abstain your vote on this
I
one.
abstain. Absolutely abstain.
Okay, okay. I'll go with Company of Heroes, and it's only because I like to see people try to revive the old-ish RTS. Like I don't care what attempt you do. Anybody that tries to revive RTS is like, okay, I'll give you some props for trying to get the medium back in there.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
But
Sure.
I have heard good things about Company of Heroes 3.
All right.
Best family game.
All right. This
Best
will be a
game
nice one.
appropriate for family play.
Damn, I did not play. I didn't even hear about Disney Illusion Island. I don't know
Yeah,
what that is
I
at
did look that
all.
one up. It's a 4-player platformer, kind of like Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll give my vote real quick because I haven't played any of these. I like Disney Illusion Island because it stands out. I actually like the art style from because they're copying the art style from the latest Disney cartoons, and I like them. So
Hmm.
that's all I got. I like that it looks bold.
So, like, if we're just talking about, like, can you go back up to the categories again? Like, to the thing, best family. You mean, to me, a family game is like multiple people can play at the same time, right? Like up to 4 players. This is more like couch co-op party game. We haven't. Neither of us has said anything about the Sonic game at all. What was that one called?
Sonic
Sonic
Superstars.
Superstars. Just I need to make sure that I'm thinking about this the right title. Jesus,
Yeah.
$60. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. I don't know much about Wonder, but if Wonder gives you that ability to for everybody to kind of still play together, then I think that's still going to. I think that's going to be one of the better family games that's up there. Party Animals is a fun game for kids and a fun game for like 10 minutes. But you tell me the difference between that game and what was the fucking brawl thing?
Fall
Like,
Guys.
no, not even
Uh,
Fall Guys. It was
Gang
Gang
Beasts.
Beasts, Gang Beasts. You tell me the difference between that and Gang Beasts, and I'll just say it's just an expanded Gang Beasts. Pikmin 4, I thought was only single player, so to me,
Yeah,
I think
same.
that's like I don't know how a family jumps in and out of that. I think it's a great game for kids at the same time, but I don't think it's that. And then I just don't know anything about the Illusion Island, so I'm gonna go with the
Right.
Mario on this one. I think.
No, totally fine. It can't. It's hard to rate the categories that we don't have too much experience in. Fighting
No,
games now, that's certainly my thing.
tell
Best
me.
fighting game, best game designed around hand to hand combat.
I will
Um,
just let you take this one.
that's fine. Well, the answer is Street Fighter Six, but God of Rock. This was a rhythm game, fighting game. So out of
Everybody
all of
always
these,
wants to put rhythm in fighting. They always want.
yeah,
It's been
yeah.
like one of those things where everybody has been trying to crack that fucking code for forever and a day. How do I make it rhythm?
Yeah, so it's the most innovative on the list, but the problem is if you look at the reviews, they're all pretty poor because they just mashed it together and didn't like massage it enough to make it a meaningful combination.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 1. So Mortal Kombat's always been a single player focused game, but the problem is even their single player sucks,
Damn.
or is at least not up to par with their previous games. And a lot of people say it's because multiverses failed, and they feel like Mortal Kombat was forced to launch early because they needed to make up for the lack of WB revenue.
Interesting. Interesting. I tell
Yeah,
you that.
yeah, but who knows? That's just rumors.
Yeah, because that story campaign, like the writing and everything, like nothing makes coherent sense. It's like it's almost as if they were trying to make at some point within the thing like a choose your own story adventure and like pivoted hard away from it, but didn't kind of rewrite the story flow
Right.
correctly enough, in weird ways. So I don't know
Yeah.
where that was all going, but just doesn't seem
Yeah,
perfect.
and the story has all this multiverse stuff, and people are just getting sick of that in general, for
Yeah,
Marvel and all that.
yeah.
The next two games they are indie games, and they're executed well, but ultimately Street Fighter Six is
King,
unbelievably well executed.
King and Queen. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Uh, do you want to throw in 2 cents or you
no,
want to move
go.
on? It's up to you.
Street Fighter was the
Okay.
best. Period. Best,
Yeah.
best of almost every fighting game that there is.
Yeah. Yep. Best RPG.
Oh,
Best game with character customization and progression. Okay.
all right. Tell
All
me.
right. I might count on you for this one.
Okay.
I wasn't able to play these, but I have an impression of all of these at least.
Okay. All right. Well, you mean don't let me take up all of the room.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I can go. Uh, Starfield. I've only heard ho hum about this game. Everyone's like, meh, it's fine. It's a Bethesda game, so I can roll that one out. I guess. Damn, it comes down to the first two. Sea of Stars, I know is super well executed, but it's such a indie game. It doesn't stand a chance against the other two. I think Baldur's 3 Gate is going to be an easy win. But if I had to pick, and which one is most interesting to me, is Sea of Stars. That one throws back to like Chrono Trigger. I've heard it's all the old school RPGs that were amazing,
Yeah.
packed together in a package. So that's my vote, and that's the game that I most want to play out of these.
Yeah.
How about you?
So I don't know Lies of P. I don't know Sea of Stars. So I'm just going off of like the little pieces that I just looked up right there, like online, right?
All good. Okay, yeah.
I think both of those seem like interesting titles. Lies of P looks like a Souls-like game that has a lot of very classic look to it, which fits well within that experience. Cool, great. Not the game for me, but could be a great wavy game for a lot of people, right? Sea of Stars, not the game for me either. Personally, I don't like turn-based action RPGs or anything else like that. They're not my favorite thing because they play so slow. There's just so many like interactions to have happen there. And in the same vein, I kind of got burnt on Baldur's Gate very quickly, and both of us, like myself and the girlfriend, got burnt on Baldur's Gate very quickly because she couldn't figure out how to fucking do like battle and like do the controls and stuff like that. And I always felt like the actual combat in there was the worst part of the entire game, and I always knew that
Wow.
was going to be it for me. It was going to kind of suck right there and then. But and let me tell you straight up, Starfield, Bethesda gotta get their fucking. They can't keep doing this 20-year engine upgrade piecemeal. Like it's a bit, it's a Bethesda game. They need to break their own mold because they're sniffing their own farts, and it's really showing, and it has been showing, and they just won't fucking do anything about it, and that's a garbage push forward within their own things. It's like little things like I walk into an area like the video gif that probably went around like the whole time when the game came out, right?
Oh yeah.
You walk into an area, there's a bunch of money on the table, you pick up a box, and then you knock the physics objects off into a different box, and then you go and like take that money and walk into a corner, crouch, and then steal all of the money. It's like we've been doing that. That's been happening for forever, right? Like that's been happening since we put buckets on the top of Skyrim heads and so that they couldn't see us, and then we'd steal all their shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, what are we doing here? And I don't actually personally like the whole way that they dealt with the moving between spaceship, space, and planets. Like I actually thought when you were scrolling on this before you scrolled down that this was somehow God damn it, why can't I remember it? The game that really failed massively and then came back. The
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. That's the one. I looked at that and I was like, holy shit! Is No Man's Sky is on this list? Like No Man's Sky is gonna win it for me. But out of all of this, I think it's still Baldur's Gate. I think the story, way that this story like moves around, that system that they've created there is far beyond any sort of RPG. I think it really allows you to live an RPG fantasy that none of these other games, all of them like tell you that you can, but no other game has been able to do to that depth. And I think that is a true and out RPG to me.
Yeah,
right? That is the most true form of an RPG, and the fact that nobody can even get close to that right now. You might not see a game to the level of choices and decisions that you could make for another, I don't know, however long. You might never see another game that's that crazy personally,
Yeah, there's a 0% chance that Baldur's Gate 3 will lose. So Pretty solid bet.
Yeah, Final Fantasy who?
Next up is best action adventure game, which is defined as combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I played Tears of the Kingdom,
I mean,
and I'm of course
yeah.
familiar with the rest.
I mean, right off the bat, I think that Resident Evil 4 did not break the mold. Alan Wake 2
Oh no,
Alan Wake 2 tried to remake a game that had a niche audience but wasn't able to capitalize on any sort of great marketing and really push like new techniques, new tools. And if genuinely it's a good game. I think it's actually like not a bad game, Alan Wake 2. I don't think it's a bad game. It's better than Jedi Survivors. Jedi Survivors, like just looking at it, like not for me, too jank, way too jank. Funny that Tears of the Kingdom did not like break things out as much as Breath of the Wild did, right? It just didn't seem to have the same ring, and I'm not sure why that was. But it feels like it's like a game that people are going to come back to. I don't know, you know what I mean? But
actually, you know what I've heard about that from people is that they say they replayed a lot of Breath of the Wild, but for whatever reason, they don't return to Tears of the Kingdom. So I've actually heard the opposite, just anecdotally. I don't know what the actual numbers are.
yeah, I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be a slow burner. But I don't think there's something about it that just didn't connect with people in the same way, and I don't know what that was. Other
Yeah,
than maybe they had already seen it, and it's not that we need to see it plus one, which with all of the building and stuff like that there's in there.
yeah.
If you want my
I think it's too
honest opinion though,
complex. I think it's too complex having to do the building. So people try it out and then they're like, I don't want to spend hours making this, except for the crazy Minecraft people.
true, and
But yeah, go
and
ahead.
and no, it's a great point because I think like a lot of it is like optimization there, right? And if I have to
Yeah.
go read a guide and do that, like that's not that
Yeah,
audience. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Exactly.
It's not that audience at all. Like they want something
Yeah.
light playable that I can get in and kind of
Yeah.
like be entertained.
Yeah, like
Um,
children's play in a way. That's far more accessible.
yeah, and then somebody might say it's like, yeah, but you're building with blocks. It's like, yeah, but as soon as you have to
Right.
get an engineering degree like in Zelda mechanics, and then there's you see other. I think like sometimes you do those things and they're cute, and then it's like, hey, I'm gonna give you some Legos, and I'm gonna take some Legos, and then we're gonna make something really small with like 10 pieces of Lego, and then you get like an actual like Lego master, and then they come out and make something way better than you've ever even can conceive, and you're like, oh well, I guess I'll just never play this ever again. I'll just never play with Legos because I'll never be as good as that person. So that sucks.
You're spot on.
If you want my honest opinion, Spider-Man has been so innovative when it comes to feature design and their ability to capture being like I don't know, I'm gonna parrot a bunch of shit, but like kind of actually like giving that feeling of being Spider-Man and like swinging around the place and having that match to almost like a physicsy real world feeling as well too, that I really appreciate their level of sophistication. I think that it went in behind the scenes, building on designing a lot of those features to make them feel as accessible as they do. I think that there's a shit ton more work that's gone into that game than has gone into any of these other ones. And I think that Jedi Survivors needed a level of polish that they didn't from time nor for engineering love, like would never have been able, like if you'd put that team and said make Spider-Man, and they'd never have been able to make that game. So I think that there is something special that happened and is happening on that Spider-Man team that I think is legitimate. Like I think that there's a really good strong development process that's happening right there that I really appreciate.
Yeah. Yeah, out of all these games, the one that I would want to play most is certainly Spider-Man, and it's exactly what you said. You get to play the fantasy of it, and you actually don't get that experience much elsewhere. Tears of the Kingdom, there actually are a lot of engineering games. It just doesn't have the Link IP tied to it.
Yeah, loads.
So,
I,
for,
I think the game that
I
I would
guess.
play the most though is probably Resident Evil 4. I think that's the one I'd want to play, but it's not the one that I that I care about the most when I just think about like what's the best one from like from a perspective, technical perspective,
Right, right. All right. Next one is best. Oh wait. So this is best action game. Last one was best action adventure. Okay. All right. All
Uh,
right. Dead Island 2, isn't that an old game? Did they remake it or something?
yeah, they pushed a new thing. There was definitely marketing hype around it. It was like the person who was like rollerblading down a boardwalk, and zombies everywhere and stuff, and just to get out of the way, I think Armor Core is was a fun project for FromSoft. I think it was a fun thing for them to just be like, let's just like make something cool that's like in our past and get our team off of the grind cycle of making FromSoft style games, and let's just go back to our roots a little bit. I think it's a throwaway title. I don't think that's a big one. Ghost Runners just didn't make any hits. I think Remnant 2, I don't know it. Not that that's any sort of moniker. Same with Hi-Fi Rush, but I think that Dead Island 2 had like a good audience. Again, has good technical prowess. I think when you would hit people, they would really, deformation stuff would happen a lot better than I think. Obviously, we can do a lot with those stuff, but they're not very performant. So I think they push the gore really hard within it, but it goes a little too cartoony for me at the same time too. So you know, but that's kind of the title. I don't know about you, but to be quick with it, I'd just say Dead Island 2.
Okay. Armored Core very got a lot of hype. Obviously, it's a 20-year-old franchise that got resurrected, and there's a lot of crossover between the fighting game community and this series for whatever reason. Almost everyone I know has played the old Armored Cores and bought this new one. Now the game had PvP, and some people were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna dominate the Armored Core PvP scene," and some of them did really well.
Did
But
it
I
have
don't see anybody
PvP?
playing that game anymore, actually. So I don't know why it didn't stick, but people got their experience out of it. Seemed to enjoy it.
I did
Dead
not
Island
know.
2, oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't know they had PvP. I thought it was all PV.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dead Island 2, I liked the original because I had co-op. So that has things going for it. But out of these, I give it to Hi-Fi Rush, and the
Hmm.
reason I would same deal. I'm always noting which of these I would want to play the most. I know Hi-Fi Rush is like a super indie-ish game that kind of pushes different bounds on how an action game plays. I think it's like Devil May Cry ish in a very vibrant world. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have too many more details than that, but that's the one that I've heard really good recommendations of. In fact, out of all five, I only heard recommendations for Armored Core and Hi-Fi Rush, and the
Hmm.
Hi-Fi Rush ones were very high. So
Yeah, I'm just
there we
looking
go.
at. I mean, definitely is a cool world for sure. I think if you like beat 'em ups and stuff like that, like I
Yeah,
think that would be a fun game.
that's a
Um,
good point because all five of these are very different flavors of action.
very different flavors of action. I'm
Yeah.
just looking at the Remnant 2 like official trailer as well too for the sake of it. Um,
Okay. Ghost Runner was one of the games that we analyzed the trailer for, right? I remember. I think we did.
Remnant is, yeah, okay. So here's the thing. Remnant is a game that I would play. I don't know if you remember this. Yeah, okay. If they had the logo on it, I would have fucking remembered. Remnant 1 came out, and I think a lot of people missed it. But when it came out on Epic Game Store as a free title, that's when I played it, and I know that the player base jumped massively. People really liked it. Over the shoulder,
Ah.
co-op, uh,
Oh,
shooter
Is this
game.
the bullet hell game?
Yeah,
Bullet
but
hell
but
third
it's
person.
it's kind
Oh,
of
I played this. I played
but
this.
it's kind of like a I mean it's a Souls like game, but
Yeah,
it's
I
like
played
a
this.
team based co-op thing, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought Remnants 1 was a lot of fun. I just don't know anything of how they moved forward with Remnants 2, so I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. And Ghost Runner is
Yeah,
just, I don't know. I feel like somebody took a premise and turned it techno and just like said, let's give a person a sword and put wall running in, and no,
yeah,
not for me.
yeah. Remnant 2, I did play this at a friend's house. If I could get a group of 4 or 8 or whatever the limit is, I'd want to play that because it seemed pretty new, seemed pretty tough, and I love tough co-op games.
No,
So I was
exactly.
like struggling as.
As soon as your friends don't want to play the game, it's like, all right, shelve that. Never play it again.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you don't want to play it on
exactly.
your own. It's boring if you're gonna play it on your own. That sucks.
Yep, yep. Next category: best VR AR
Oh
games.
shit. Oh shit.
um, so 3 of these are at least regular games that have been converted to VR. Um,
Ah shit.
I looked at the
I don't know any of these.
what's that?
I barely know any
Yeah,
of these.
yeah. We can just breeze through this. Like
Yeah.
seriously, I've always wanted to play Gran Turismo in VR, so I'd want to do that the most.
Yeah, but so does every single sim racing game, and a lot of them
Yeah,
support it now. So like it's the same game just in VR. So no, no, thank
exactly,
you.
exactly.
Horizon Call of the Mountain. I have actually heard good things where people have been playing this pretty consistently and they've been really
The
enjoying it.
VR one.
Yeah,
Wow.
they have been. A guy like I knew like punched a wall because he was like smacking stuff around, but he's on call with other people at the same time too, and he just beat the
Wow.
fucking just beat the wall. um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll I don't know. I don't know any of them. So
Yeah, it's all
VR.
good.
I think VR is up for just more big years. Quest 3 is awesome. I've just been watching more and more videos of Quest 3. I've bought Meta stock because I just think that coming into Christmas again, Quest 2
Mm.
was the biggest seller for like the last 3 years of stocking stuffers, things to put under the kids requests basically. And then I think that their price point is so good for VR that it's just going to keep on getting more and more and more and more people into VR.
I heard Quest 3 only sold like 10% as much as Quest 2. And I think a big part of it is because the upgrade difference between 2 and 3 isn't big enough. So Quest 3 is really going to have to find a way to get new people to buy it. But that's a very good point. Holidays are coming up, and that'd be a great buy if
Yeah,
you don't have 2 already.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's actually like it's really a software thing. It's not like a hardware thing. I think that the hardware bumped, but the price point stayed the same. But it's almost like Apple stuff where like Apple has this ability that where we could turn on like a lo-fi internet between all of our phones right away. Like they could do that like right now, where all of our phones could just talk to each other and instantly send data between them, and it would be so seamless, right? Like I could literally just have my phone over your phone, and I could just do whatever I want whenever I want, um, and do it for free, not over a network, and not through a text message. And I think that a lot of Quest has that, and if after seeing as well too of like the tech demo podcast this year as well too, I'm like a little bit more convinced that this shit is a
Mm.
little bit more the future. So
Okay.
I can get behind it.
Okay.
They're all great. Good for them.
I'm yeah. You're bullish on VR. I'm extremely bearish.
Yeah,
But
I'm
that's
bullish.
a good tale for another time. Let's see how many categories we got.
We're so close.
The last 2 rows left, so I mean we'll split this into two episodes
Okay, cool. I'm down for
because
that.
these are going to be much meatier discussions. You still got time? You're good. You're good on time
Yeah,
to
let's
keep
do
talking.
best mobile
All
game
right.
and go from there.
Yeah, let's do it. Best mobile game. So, uh, shout outs to Sunblink for being on here.
Yeah,
Friends at
absolutely.
Sunblink.
And
So um I've heard a lot about all of these actually. So first off, I want to say my vote that's not on their list is Warcraft Rumble. I love
oh,
Warcraft Rumble. It just came out 2 weeks ago. I
ArcLight
think it's
Rumble,
supremely
or
yeah
did they
yeah
drop the ArcLight part?
yep yep. So Warcraft Rumble, it's a Clash Royale competitor. I did a little analysis of the games. I think it beats Clash Royale in almost every category.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
20 different features, it beats it on all of them.
Hmm.
Um, I've heard it's currently making twice as much as Clash Royale, and if that's true, that is amazing because Clash Royale had a monopoly on this sort of tactical uh, strategy game. But
Yeah.
so but but since Warcraft Rumble just came out, it's not going to be on this list. Uh, I think
I mean, so
the
many other
the
games that
easy
only could just fucking come out as well too. So yeah.
mobile is nuts. Mobile is nuts. How fast it moves. Um, let's see. So Hello Kitty might just win just because of people trolling, but the problem with Hello Kitty is that it's on Apple Arcade, and right now I just do not know many people. I think I know one person that has Apple Arcade. Like very few people have it, so I just don't think it stands much of a chance. Uh, Terra Nil. That's a so this game's on PC. If you guys want to try a demo, it's a reverse city builder. You take like a world of rubble and pollution, and you turn it into a nice, healthy ecosystem again. So I thought it was actually pretty fun. But it's on Netflix. This is almost the same issue as Apple Arcade. When people were back, so you need to have a Netflix account to play these games, and
Hmm.
people used to say, "Well, you have a Netflix account already." That's actually no longer the case. People are cord cutting Netflix. It's too pricey. It's not as good as it was before. There's more options. So Netflix no longer has the monopoly it used to do. So
I
out
mean,
of all of
let me just
these,
tell you
I
this:
will. Yeah, go ahead.
152 reviews. That's all it has. 152 reviews. 3.1
Yeah,
stars. It has almost
yeah,
as many
yeah,
1 stars as it does 5 stars, right? So I'm not
yeah.
convinced. I'm not convinced. I looking at this game, looking at the 5 panel. This is not a winner. That's not a winner. Terra Nil is not a winner. It's just not. This is
Yeah,
not a great
yeah.
mobile
Well, I
experience.
will say, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Mobile. This works. This game is really nice on PC.
I mean, this
But you're
looks
right.
like a fucking Facebook game from 2007. Like it
Sure,
does. It
sure.
just does. It just looks like a Facebook
Yeah,
game from 2000. Monster
yeah.
Hunter now looks like garbage as well too, and you have to kind of go down res a bunch of shit when you're doing open world and Pokemon Go style shit.
Right.
But I don't care about this. This could have been
Yeah,
anything. You know
and
what I mean? Has no bearing.
yeah, and I
Monopoly
do
Go
know
isn't on this
some.
list. I don't know why Monopoly Go isn't on this list. It's literally the highest performing fucking title of any mobile
Doesn't
game.
mean it's the best game. Doesn't mean it's the best game.
It's but the thing is like what metric are you saying is the best
Yeah, yeah,
game?
yeah,
Right? And I'm
yeah.
not saying just
This
pure and
is
out revenue. I'm saying like if you're looking at mobile as what it is, right?
yeah,
Mon- Monopoly Go has one of the biggest player bases comparatively across all of these titles. So like I don't
right.
know what best
Yeah,
game means, you know what I mean?
yeah, and I think this pops up all the time. What's the best game and what's the metric? But for the purposes of this, we just got to go with what is the game because it's just me and you. What is the game that either we would like to play the most, or like what's the best executed in our opinion? And I don't think Monopoly Go is it either for me. I think it I because I played it. I played it. I didn't play it for very long, but I do understand Monopoly Go literally makes more money than all of these combined, including Honkai Star Rail, which makes a lot.
Yeah. You mean all right.
Monster Hunter now, I do know a lot of Monster Hunter fans, like people that run meetups and stuff. They only played Monster Hunter now for like a couple days. They played both Pokemon Go a lot and both Monster Hunter a lot, but they didn't stick with this game. So
Mhm.
I don't think it really makes it. And so my vote for this is Honkai Star Rail. I've played this game. I think it's extremely well done. Oh, actually, I have something unique about it. I hate JRPGs
Yeah.
for similar to what you said about turn-based games. A lot of the times you're just doing the same thing. Honkai Star Rail actually made me care about the combat, which is extremely hard to do. So I think this game is very well done.
Yeah,
That is
I'm
my
with
vote.
you. Um,
Okay.
all right, look, yeah, to put a closing on it, play the War of Eros. Don't play Final Fantasy Ever Crisis. Machine Zone's version is better, and there are too many Final Fantasy games out in the wild. Hello Kitty Island Adventure is one of the greatest games that came out this year. Period. It really is. It's fucking beautiful. It's delectable, but it is Animal Crossing with a short hike kind of mixed in. So that's a great experience. It's still a great experience. It's still cutesy and beautiful and wonderful and a wonderful world. But the game that is going to win this is Hanukkah Star Rail because the story is so in depth for what it is. The onboarding ramp is so pristine and crafted.
Yeah.
The character overlap, they've really taken Genshin and moved it into just a different world, and it's a game that like not many mobile studios could even like come close to really touching when we're talking about like, hey, go make that, go make something that's going to compete against that, go make something that's going to beat that, and there's not there that's a top 1% game that again you're not going to go and see, not going to go see very often. They've been lucky to be able to do it twice, and anime is like obviously a huge portion of that
They're
message.
going for a hat trick. They got their third game coming out too.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got to be careful at the same time too, because if they fragment their own user base too much, then they're not going to be able to get it. But it is still just a fucking character collector at the end of the day. So so much depth of spend, just so much spend, and that sucks at the same time. So I think that they should just not be greedy, and they should just focus in on their two experiences and make them better and better and better. But they're
Yeah.
still doing that. But yeah, what you gonna do when you have a fistful of
I,
cash?
I've Yeah, no, honestly, I've heard a lot of theories about their battle plan, but like Genshin and Honkai update at different cycles, and then the third game is gonna kind of complete it. Basically, they want to almost like Disneyland or whatever. They want you to cycle between the three games in their ecosystem
Of
and
course,
just be locked in, utterly locked into Hoyoverse.
everybody wants it. I tell you, Hello
Yeah,
Kitty Island Adventure. I think will you'll see this be a lot bigger and more in people's hands when it hits different consoles.
I would love to try this game.
Mm-hmm.
I did play Hello Kitty online back 20 years ago, so it's not like I don't like the franchise. All right, moving on. Best debut indie game. So this is the first game created by a new indie studio.
Yeah. Part of me says we should chill here and let it go and see where we get to.
Okay.
Because we are playing Cocoon right now. I'm a humongous fan of Viewfinder, and the rest of these, Venba, I know a little bit of. I've seen the trailer. I've
Yeah,
seen some other things, but the other two I haven't looked at all. So
yeah.
I'd like
I
to
actually
give these
played.
their dues.
I played four of these. The only one I didn't play is Dredge, but I'm very familiar with it. But do you? So you want to break
I
here
want
and
to break. I
do the
want to break
rest?
here. Yeah, I want to
Okay.
break
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Sounds
We're
good.
getting into
Okay.
more and more serious games, and I do want to like give it its dues,
Yeah,
for sure.
fair
Especially
enough.
when we're talking about the indie games, and some of these games
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
really well worth your time to play.
You, yeah, everything from here, other than best community support, are going to be good to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
Okay.
sweet. I mean, I think that like overall, if I was just gonna go and queue up a lot of these things, there's been some great launches this year. When I talk about like the technical side of launch support, um, I think Baldur's Gate 3's had a great onboarding of, hey, putting out their flash version of their game, like their version of their game, their first part, getting people in. Technical soft launching has been amazing there. A lot of people wouldn't do that, especially for a console game. But they did it, took it on the feedback, and then improved and really put out a quality based product. And obviously, Street Fighter 6 has been amazing at the same time too. I hope that they can keep up a steam there and keep bringing people in, because if they
Right.
can't, if they can't and they can't capitalize on this market positioning, they're a failure at the same time too, or something is just
Yes.
drastically wrong with fighting games by
In
themselves.
in terms of updates, they've been really slow. Like they had an amazing launch, and they've only been releasing costumes that you can't. They're not releasing character costumes, which is what everyone wants. They're releasing like avatar costumes in the arcade. So you're right. They seem to be running out of steam, and I hope they change their
Yeah,
pace.
here's hoping. Um, but Calvin, I appreciate your time. Sorry that it took so long to even do something, but I hope you're doing well back in Colorado and enjoying yourself.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's all good here.
All right, Bubba. You're missed. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Yep.